When a 26-year-old comedian bombed so badly on stage that the audience started leaving, the last person he expected to see watching from the back of the room was Jim Carrey. September 14, 2017. The Comedy Store, 8433 Sunset Boulevard, West Hollywood, California. Thursday night, 10:47 p.m. Marcus Chen stood under the spotlight, sweating, dying. Not the funny kind of dying, the real kind. His third joke had landed with silence. His fifth got a pity laugh. By minute 7, 3 couples had walked out. The bartender was checking his phone. But here's what Marcus didn't know. Standing in the shadows at the back of the room, wearing a black baseball cap and sunglasses despite the darkness, was Jim Carrey. 6 feet 2 inches tall, rubber face completely still, watching everything. And what happened 10 minutes after Marcus walked off that stage? What Jim said to him in a cramped backstage hallway that smelled like beer and failure would be recorded on someone's phone and change both of their lives forever. Stay with us through this entire video because what Jim Carrey told this bombing comedian about his own depression and what got revealed about why the funniest people are often dying inside will hit you somewhere you weren't expecting. The bomb. Marcus Chen, 26 years old, stand-up comedian, born in San Francisco, raised in Los Angeles. He'd been doing comedy for 4 years, open mics, bringer shows, paying his dues. He worked as a barista at a Starbucks on Melrose Avenue, $13.50 an hour, lived in a studio apartment in Koreatown, $1,400 a month. His parents had stopped asking when he'd get a real job. His father had died 2 years ago without ever seeing him perform. That weight lived in Marcus's chest every single day. Tonight was supposed to be different. Thursday showcase at the Comedy Store. Industry night. Agents came on Thursdays. Managers. Producers looking for fresh talent. Marcus had prepared for 3 weeks. New material. Tight 5 minutes. He'd practiced in front of his bathroom mirror 47 times. The host called his name. Next up, Marcus Chen. Polite applause. Marcus walked to the mic. The spotlight hit his face. He grabbed the microphone with shaking hands. So, I'm Asian, Marcus started. Which means my parents wanted me to be a doctor. I became a comedian. So basically, I'm the biggest disappointment since my last set. 3 people laughed. The rest, silence. Marcus pushed forward. Anyone here have anxiety? Yeah? Cool. I have anxiety about having anxiety. It's very meta. My therapist said someone's phone rang. They answered it, walked out while talking. Marcus's confidence cracked. He could feel it happening. The room turning cold. His material dying. His voice getting quieter. So, dating, right? Dating is hard when you're... A woman in the front row yawned, loudly. Marcus stopped mid-sentence, stared at her, forgot his next line. The pause lasted 8 seconds. In comedy, 8 seconds of silence is death. Sorry, Marcus stammered. 3 more people got up, left. The light man looked away. The bartender turned up the music between sets. The universal signal, wrap it up. Marcus tried one more joke. It didn't matter which one. Nobody was listening anymore. Thanks, you've been... Yeah, thank you. Scattered pity applause. Marcus walked off stage. His 5 minutes had felt like 5 hours. He didn't see Jim Carrey watching from the back. Didn't see the way Jim's face had changed from neutral to something else. Something that recognized the pain. Backstage. Marcus went straight to the backstage hallway. A narrow corridor with concrete walls, old comedy posters, and fluorescent lights that hummed too loud. He sat down on the floor, back against the wall, put his head in his hands. 4 years of open mics, 4 years of you're getting better, 4 years for this, for bombing on industry night, for watching people walk out. His phone buzzed, text from his friend Derek. Dude, that was rough. You okay? Marcus didn't respond. He just sat there, breathing, trying not to cry. Footsteps in the hallway, someone walking toward him. Marcus looked up, saw the baseball cap first, then the face underneath it. Jim Carrey. Marcus froze. Oh my God. Jim stopped a few feet away, took off his sunglasses. You mind if I sit? Yes, no, Marcus couldn't form words. Jim sat down next to him on the floor, right there in the hallway, legs stretched out. back against the same concrete wall. They sat in silence for maybe 15 seconds. Then Jim spoke. That was hard to watch. Marcus's stomach dropped. I know. I'm sorry you had to. No, Jim interrupted. I mean, it was hard for me to watch, because I've been exactly where you are. Same floor, same feeling, same death. Marcus blinked. You bombed? I bombed for years, Jim said quietly. Toronto, Los Angeles, everywhere. There were nights I'd bomb so bad I'd sit in my car afterward and just sit. Couldn't even drive home. Just sat there. But you're Jim Carrey. I'm a guy who learned how to hide pain really, really well. Jim's voice dropped. You know what I was thinking while watching you up there? Marcus shook his head. I was thinking about 1978, my family living in a van, me working night shifts at a factory, cleaning toilets, going to comedy clubs and dying. Every single night. You know why I kept going? Why? Jim looked at him directly. Because when you really bomb, you have two choices. You can let it kill you, or you can let it teach you. And the lesson isn't about comedy, it's about whether you can survive being seen at your worst and still show up the next day. Jim paused. His hands moved slightly like he was painting invisible strokes in the air. You know what I do when it gets really dark? I paint. 3 a.m. alone in my studio. Doesn't matter if anyone sees it. I just need to create something when everything else feels meaningless. Music. Marcus's eyes filled with tears. I don't know if I can do this anymore. I know that feeling, Jim said. Depression, right? Marcus nodded. Since I was 19, I take medication, it helps. But nights like this, it all comes back, Jim finished. The voice that says you're not good enough, that you should quit, that everyone was right about you. How did you know? Because that's my voice too. Still. Even now. Jim's face showed something he usually hid. You think success makes it stop? It doesn't. I've made $20 million on a movie and still woke up at 3 a.m. painting alone in my studio, trying to figure out what any of it means. They sat there. Two comedians on a backstage floor, one famous, one unknown, both fighting the same darkness. The lesson. Someone pulled out their phone, started recording. Neither Jim nor Marcus noticed at first. Can I tell you something? Jim asked. Yeah. Your material tonight was okay. Not great, but okay. You know what the real problem was? Marcus waited. You didn't believe you deserved to be up there. I could see it in your body language, the way you held the mic, the way you apologized with your voice before the jokes even landed. You were performing your own doubt. But I bombed. The crowd smells fear faster than blood, Jim said. They weren't rejecting your jokes. They were rejecting your energy. You walked up there already defeated. So, what do I do? Jim was quiet for a moment. You want the real answer or the easy one? Real. The real answer is you go back out there, tomorrow, next week, every week. You bomb again and again. And you do it until the bombing doesn't break you anymore. Until you can die on stage and walk off thinking, okay, that one didn't work, let's try something else. That's when you become dangerous. That's when you become real. Music. Marcus wiped his eyes. Jim Carrey is sitting on a floor with me telling me to keep bombing. This is the weirdest night of my life. Jim laughed. Actually laughed. You know what? That's funny. That right there, that's your voice. Not the try-hard stuff you were doing up there. This, the weird truth. What do you mean? Comedy isn't about being funny. It's about being honest about the unfunny parts. Your depression, your anxiety, your parents' disappointment, that's the material, not jokes about those things, the actual truth of living with them. Jim stood up, extended his hand to help Marcus up. Marcus took it. They stood face to face. I'm going to tell you what my dad told me before he died, Jim said. You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. You just failed at what you do want. That means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. The video. The person recording caught all of it. Jim and Marcus on the floor. The conversation about depression, the advice, the honesty. They posted it on Twitter at 11:32 p.m. No caption, just the video. By 2 a.m., 100,000 views. By morning, 2 million. By the end of the week, 15 million views. The comments section exploded. Jim Carrey talking about depression saved my life tonight. I'm a struggling musician and I needed to hear this so badly. The funniest people are fighting the hardest battles. I've been on that floor. I've had that same conversation with myself. This is everything. A therapist commented, "This is what healing looks like. Two people being honest about pain." Entertainment websites picked it up. Jim Carrey's backstage pep talk goes viral. Ellen called, "We want Marcus and Jim on the show." Marcus's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Agents, managers, podcasters. Everyone wanted the comedian who bombed in front of Jim Carrey. 3 months later, December 2017, Marcus Chen walked onto the Ellen Show stage. The audience went crazy. They knew the story. They'd seen the video. Jim was already there, sitting next to Ellen, smiling that smile. "So," Ellen said, "Marcus, tell us what happened after that night." Marcus sat down. "I did exactly what Jim told me. I went back, I bombed again and again. And slowly, I stopped being afraid of it. I started talking about the real stuff, my depression, my medication, the weird thoughts, and people started listening." "Show them," Jim said quietly. Ellen nodded. A screen lowered behind them. A video played. Marcus performing. New material, talking about bombing, about depression, about sitting on that floor with Jim Carrey. The audience in the video was howling, actually howling. The Ellen audience erupted. "That's from last week," Marcus said. "At the Comedy Store. Same room where I bombed. Sold out show." Ellen wiped her eyes. "Jim, what do you think?" Jim looked at Marcus. "I think he found his voice, and it's beautiful." 1 year later, September 14th, 2018. Exactly 1 year after the bomb, Marcus Chen released a comedy special on Netflix. Title, "Bombed." The special opened with footage of that night. Him dying on stage, then cut to the backstage video with Jim. Then his journey over the next year. The special was raw, honest, funny in a way that hurt. He talked about depression like it was a roommate who never left, about medication like it was his weird friend, about bombing like it was a teacher. Critics loved it. The most honest comedy special in years. It was nominated for an Emmy. Jim Carrey posted about it on Twitter. "This is what comedy is supposed to be. Truth that makes you laugh and cry at the same time. Proud of you, makes Marcus Chen comedy." Marcus framed the tweet. Today Marcus Chen, now 28 years old, tours nationally, sells out clubs, has 500,000 followers on social media. He talks openly about depression. Started a podcast called Bombing Out Loud, where comedians discuss mental health. And in every green room before every show, he sits on the floor for 30 seconds. Remembers that night. Remembers Jim's words. "You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love." That video of Jim and Marcus, still circulating, still going viral every few months when someone discovers it. Still saving lives, because somewhere out there right now, someone is bombing. Someone is sitting in their car unable to drive home. Someone is wondering if they should quit. And maybe they'll see that video. Maybe they'll hear Jim say, "The bombing doesn't kill you, it teaches you." And maybe they'll go back out there. One more time. Before you go, drop a comment right now and tell us where you are watching from. New York? London? Tokyo? Mumbai? We read every single one, and we love knowing where our community is coming from all around the world. And if this story moved you even a little, if it made you feel something real, please hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it helps this story reach someone out there who really needs to hear it today. Maybe someone who's bombing at their dream right now. Maybe someone who's thinking about quitting. This story could be exactly what they need to hear. And if you are new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button and join a community that believes success doesn't cure depression, that bombing is part of the journey, and that the funniest people are often fighting battles nobody sees. Share this video with one person today, just one. Because that is exactly how hope travels. One person, one moment, one floor conversation at a time. Now click on the video appearing on your screen right now because we have another incredible Jim Carrey story about what he did when he found out his makeup artist was homeless. We will see you there.